What's up guys, Trail here, better known as Budget Bill, and today I have another stimulus update video for you. Today is September the 15th and this is your stimulus update. Yesterday, the House of Representatives actually returned from their long August recess break, and what do you know? Today, on Tuesday, we have a new proposed bill that was introduced, but not by the House of Representatives. This bill was introduced by the Problem Solvers Caucus. Now, I haven't talked about them much on this channel as of yet, but what they are is a group of bipartisan members that have gotten together in order to get things done in Washington. Now, like I stated, these are bipartisan members and it includes 25 Democrats as well as 25 Republicans. And today, they introduced a new proposed or stimulus bill that could be passed in the House and the Senate if both parties can agree on the things that are included in this plan. Now, the Problem Solver Caucus has decided to go ahead and create this plan because of the long stalemate between Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Mark Meadows and Steve Mnuchin. Those are the negotiators for the second stimulus package. And because over the past month they've just been sitting back and complaining to one another and blaming the other party, things have just not gotten done. The Problem Solvers Caucus has decided to step up to the plate and to see if they could get things done. And today they've introduced a bill in hopes to get both parties to start negotiating. Now, just as a quick reminder, we know that when the HEROES Act was introduced by the House previously, that proposed bill was going to cost around $3 trillion. And obviously the Republicans did not even respond to that bill, and basically that bill got shut down. And then you have the Republicans have introduced what's known as the skinny bill, which was worth about $500 billion, which they ended up voting on that last week, and that particular bill was shot down as well. Now, also, the Democrats have come down from the $3 trillion from the HEROES Act to $2.2 trillion, and the Republicans have gone up to, I believe, $1.2 trillion. But we still don't have anything from both parties, as both people are not negotiating right now. Nancy refuses to negotiate with them until they increase their price target, and the Republicans are just not willing to up the price from $1.2 trillion at all. They want less money. They don't want to give the American people what they really need right now, as America is hurting. And so we've just had a stalemate for over a month now, and now we have this new bill. So hopefully this bill can be introduced as it was today, and we can get some things going as far as the negotiations go. Now, this new bill that was proposed today is a $1.5 trillion package that will provide aid to the economy before the election. Now, that's very important because the Republicans are stating that the Democrats don't want them to do anything because it will hurt their chances of winning the election. And the Democrats obviously are stating that that's not accurate. They want increased money right now to give it to the American people because those are the ones who are struggling right now. People out there don't have money to put food on the table. They don't have jobs. They're unable to pay their rent, and they're on the verge of being evicted. So financial aid right now for the Americans is definitely needed. And this $1.5 trillion is definitely a start. I'm not sure exactly if Nancy is going to agree with this, but it is a step forward. Now, here are the details. Under this plan, they are stating that $120 billion will be allocated for unemployment assistance, with workers getting an extra $450 a week for 8 weeks starting in mid-October. And then also that would be followed by up to $600 a week, not to exceed 100% of the person's previous wages. And that's going to actually extend through January of 2021. In addition, by popular demand, this proposed bill also includes the big fat stimulus checks for the American people. And yes, it is going to include a second round of stimulus checks of $1,200 for individuals. It will also include an additional $500 for any dependent. So this is definitely important because that was the one thing that they should have included in the skinny bill last week when they voted for it. But for some reason, they decided to leave out the one thing that both parties actually agree on. They left it out of the skinny bill. And that's why obviously the skinny bill was shut down by the Democrats as well as some of the Republicans as well. So yes, this bill is definitely going in the right direction as it does include stimulus checks for the American people. And that's going to help a lot of people out right now as they really could use some extra money. Now this bill also includes $290 billion for small business aid. So I believe this is going to be for the PPP loans to help out those businesses or those small businesses that are struggling right now, that need some additional aid to get through this hump while most of the businesses are either shut down or they're only operating at a 50% or 25% capacity. This is definitely going to provide some assistance for them. Also, this bill includes, or this proposal includes, $145 billion for schools and child care. So that's going to provide the additional funds that's needed for those schools to adjust for the new pandemic that we are dealing with in this country. Also, $500 billion is actually in this proposed bill for the state and local governments. This is another key point that was not included in the skinny bill. And this is another thing that the Democrats definitely want included, the support for the state and local governments as they are struggling as well right now. Also, it includes $400 million for the election aid, as well as a potential for $400 billion on hospitalization rates and vaccine progress. So those are the key points that are included in this proposed bill that was by the caucus. And it's worth $1.5 trillion. Now, as I stated, I don't know if this is going to be enough. However, I think this is in the right direction to get both sides to actually come together and start back negotiating again. I know Mark Meadows has stated that he is definitely ready and eagerly ready to sit down with Nancy Pelosi and start the talks back over again. Steve Mnuchin has said the same thing. However, Nancy has standed her ground and stated that she is not willing to talk to them unless they are willing to compromise on the price tag that they have offered, which is the $1.2 trillion. The Democrats have lowered theirs from $3 trillion down to $2.2 trillion, and they're waiting on the Republicans to actually increase their amount from $1 trillion. They've already increased it to $1.2 trillion, but they want them to go a little bit higher and sort of meet in the middle. And I agree, because this money is definitely stated to go to the Americans. That's the ones that are hurting right now. Those are the ones that are affected ultimately with this economy. They've either been laid off, they've lost hours at their jobs, or maybe their jobs has actually closed down. And also, another thing that we want to mention is that food prices have gone up. So just think about it. For those of you that have either lost your jobs or lost hours at your job, that means you have less income, less disposable income in order to go out and buy or purchase food or things like that. And now the food prices have gone up. So that's putting more of a damper in people's pockets because it's definitely a challenging time. So overall, I think this bill is a great starting point. We'll have to see what Nancy and Chuck Schumer have to say about this tomorrow, as well as Mark Meadows and Steve Mnuchin, to see what they have to say about it as well. Obviously, we know that this particular caucus is made up of 25 Democrats and 25 Republicans. So this bill is bipartisan. It includes both things from both parties. So I think that this particular proposed bill includes things that both parties actually want. So I think it puts us at a better stance from what we were before, and it can actually get the ball rolling again. So hopefully we can get both of these parties to actually sit down with each other and start the negotiation talks once again. And in addition, we hope that they start these negotiations pretty quickly, because we know we are right now in the middle of September and October is around the corner, and we know that Congress has another recess break coming up, the October recess break. Nancy Pelosi had told the House that they will remain in session until lawmakers deliver another round of relief. Pelosi told her Democratic colleagues this morning during the conference call that we have to stay here until we have a bill. So I believe that's positive news, that she's telling everyone that we might not be able to go home until we get a bill. So that means we'll have to continue to work hard and negotiate with the other side and compromise somewhere down the line in order to get a bill passed before the end of this month. So that's some definitely positive news from Nancy, as she's also stated that her and Chuck Schumer are both optimistic, as well as Steve Mnuchin and Mark Meadows. They're both optimistic about getting another bill passed before the election. All right, guys, that's all we have today on this stimulus update video. If you found value in this video, definitely give us a like on this video, as well as if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, this is a great time to click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload new videos. Again, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.